people who will hail you, about Tojua, they appreciate how we speak the truth to government. You give them a little money. Last month people at road intersections, you see them, they hail you, they salute you. Now. Do you understand? If every time those people appreciate you, you just drive off, they will know that this one
yesterday
is a useless
I went to
person.
one of those eyebrow restaurants. After finishing, we entered my car, and the normal security, they know anytime they see me, that I will Roger. But I had to...
you can, when you don't have enough, you just say...
Where you get the Naira notes from?
The thing, now the guy, I told him, I said, I can't help you. The guy who comes to help me clean the house, I said, I can give you, I can transfer money. But I don't have these new notes to give you. Go and meet Emefiele. You know? So this is the situation that where we found ourselves. My young guys had to find a way to get 20,000 across to my mom in the village. It's terrible. So people are in the city, you can find the POS people.
Yes,
some of
use
them,
your card.
We are using Naira to buy Naira.
Yes.
And some people will still sit down in the demonstrated of dim-wittedness. Still tell us that it's so there's nothing bad about it. Let's endure.
Let's endure from.
Is it with an Emefiele that has a history of incompetence? Because I've challenged anyone to tell me that this is a competent CBN governor.
Of course,
I will reel out his failures, beginning even with the management of the value of our currency, which is the most important to all. So you cannot dress
skyrocketing.
Ayo, you cannot dress Emefiele in roses
at all
before me.
No matter the civil society guys you employ.
No, emergency civil society people, this gold people without pedigree, people without pedigree, people without
and do press conference on your
no
behalf,
history, no future. You know, all of the monies that some people collect to do PR. In no time you will spend it. You will be back to the suffering like the rest of us.
Not only that, it is sad that professionals who are journalists, who are supposed to be professionals, because they work in a medium where the owner is the consultant, the PR consultant to Emefiele. They sit every morning and defend it.
Rally down
and defend it.
Look at
and I wonder, how can anybody do that? Nobody is saying that you should not do Naira swap. Nobody is saying you not do Naira design. But we are saying that
we are talking about the
implementation of it is so amateurish and incompetent that it is amazing that a governor of central bank will not thought out a policy as important as Naira design, and they will be doing this thing. You even said people should collect only 20,000 Naira. They cannot
now they can't collect it. And you don't think that is a problem?
They will give them 1,000 Naira, 2,000 Naira.
Yes.
Even people cannot get it.
And that
is happening.
And that is happening. Some,
and people defend this.
Very close to the election. Go very close to the election.
They claim that even when the president said they should recirculate the 200 Naira, most of the banks were closed. Because
so why do we even get it?
Money to circulate to people, and some people will sit down and defend it.
No, even
one of them will say, it's very something. He will be reeling out statistics and be grandstanding.
Fake statistics.
But be grandstanding. And I told them, I called one of them and I said, look, how can you people defend this? It is important for you as professionals to tell Emefiele that he is embarrassing everybody.
No,
the kind of thing that's happening in Nigeria happen when your country is at war.
Nigerians, you see, Mayor is shedding tears already. No, this is whatever will bring tears out of the eyes of Mayor.
I'm telling you,
anyone connected.
Mayor told me that he doesn't have the card.
See, anyone connected to bringing tears out of the eyes of a man in his 60s,
honestly,
will have a problem waiting for him. Will have pain waiting for him. The kind of pain that even his children's children will partake of. This is the thing. You cannot be happy that people are dying. People will like Tinubu. We are not interested in any politician or that we want particular politicians to win. Those who do not think beyond now, they are the ones who will not talk about how this thing is dehumanizing and diminishing the value of the Nigerian people. You know what a politician told me? Because all these people sit down on TV who do not even know their country. They don't know anywhere. Let them come, let us talk about our country. Let's analyze our country. They don't know anything. This guy, the politician told me, he said, see, they think this thing will put an end to vote buying, that it has actually made the Nigerian people cheaper.
Impoverish them.
He said it has made the Nigerian people cheaper.
If you have to do 5,000 before or 10,000 before, 2,000 now.
2,000. They will collect it. They will collect it.
Yes.
During the election in the rerun election in Osun, they were giving people as much as 50,000. Some got up to 100,000 because it was important to win, and the area where they were contesting was not so big. Small. You understand?
Yes.
Orolu and the rest of them. Now, people will be given 1,000 naira new notes. They will be excited. Because even me, I don't have it.
Because they have to survive.
It was my yam seller that gave me 5,000 naira new notes on Friday night.
Yam seller.
I'm going to celebrate the guy. I will put his picture. You know what he did? When I got to where I wanted to buy yam, he knew that I liked to buy oranges for my children. I told them, don't drink carbonated drink. Drink lemonzahi, that is orange. He said, how come you are not buying orange today? Because they are all clustered in the same area, in the same place. I said, I don't have paper money. He said, Then he took 1,000 naira out of his pocket. He paid for 600, he paid 600 naira to both of the orange sellers. Then he gave it to me. I said, what? He said, I bought this for you. He said, how come you, they hold you? You fight for us, you don't have new notes. I said, that is the situation. I brought out my pocket. He saw that I didn't have. You know what shocked me? This guy just counted 5,000 naira, put it on the car seat, and then told me, send it to me electronically. So I transferred the money to him, along with the money for the yam. I transferred to him and kept the 5,000 that
more valuable.
Yes, I'm telling you, and he did not give me at the going POS rate. So I'm grateful, and I just left. I told my wife, I said, do you know how I got this money? He's a yam seller from Kano. I'm going to put his name is Rayano. I'm going to put his name for people to see his face, that there are still good people in our country. He said, I said, how did you get this? So it's some people that are coming to buy yam. Out of it is all new notes, that there are actually old notes among, but he saw those ones. So this is what we are going through. Let's leave the appropriate judgment to God. For those who are happy to see Nigerians suffer, let's leave them to God, except if God does not exist.
Julie, I sent a video to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you said if you have old Naira, Nigerians should go to CBN.
We'll get there now. We'll get there. No, don't worry. We'll get there because of the program. You see it now. So now, my concern is those children still in the hands of these guys, half years or so. They are still there, and now the bandits need new notes as much as the rest of us need it. Some bandits will ask for dollars. These ones chose not to ask for dollars because they know that even when they get the dollars, they will still need Naira notes. Naira now...
I think Naira is now more valuable than that dollar.
No, not in the contest. Because it's still exchanging for 751.
Yes, but in terms of...
It's still a shitty currency under the management of a hapless and thoroughly incompetent CBN government.
Of course, incompetent.
Competent but arrogant. You can see it's a thrown bank staff under the boss.
Yes.
Oh, they are the one hoarding.
That's why
they are the one hoarding.
That's why
now people want to kill them.
That's why people are attacking the bank.
Yes.
Because central bank governor kept telling people that, oh, we have this money, we have distributed this money. And when we talk to the bankers, they're so frustrated because they don't have this money.
They don't have it.
It's like passing the buck.
They don't have this money. My father-in-law, he works with youth, retired from Central Bank. He went to Central Bank. The staff could not get him new notes.
Oh.
He went to Central Bank. They could not give him. They could not get him new notes. There are no notes anywhere. And one of the reasons why, when you look at this person, when they talk about what they were going to achieve about it, I just laugh.
That is not one of those objectives that they were achieving.
You talk about inflation. Inflation has increased to over 20%.
Even this one has worsened inflation now.
You talk about stopping people from vote buying. You are deluding yourself because the first set of currency that you take has been mopped up. You don't even know those who mopped it up. Now you are making it so easier for politicians to buy votes.
They'll be cheaper.
Because people are so broke, people are suffering that any amount you offer them, they will take it.
You know, Mayor, I was speaking with a deputy governor in this country. I was speaking with one this morning. He said, Jide, I have only 10,000 naira on me, and I've been in the village working, mobilizing. He said, we have a rich deposit of goodwill that I can call a man selling cow. I say, send cows to me. I will cook food, people will come and eat. He said they will not forget. Those people who have indirectly, that's vote buying. He said there are other tricks that is not only money that you can use to buy votes. He said, you will tell him that, look, when the time comes, I will send you your money. And they will send everything that he needs. People will eat rice, they will eat, they will be happy, and they will go. On election day, such people will remember that, this guy has always been there for us. And they will vote for him. So this is the thing, to imagine, to delude yourself that, there will be no vote buying.
And the president keep mentioning it consistently in his
Because the president, you know, the problem with the president is an old man. So he's fixated with the way things were done when he was a military head of state.
We quickly take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's Journalist Hangout on Sunday.
When I was younger, I got asked a question by a friend. What is the ultimate dream in life? You see, in my several decades on Earth, I have seen trends come and go. Hope.
Hello Nigerians, my name is Kashim Shetima. I'm the APC Vice Presidential candidate. Here we have 1,776 orphans, vulnerable orphan girls from Northern Borno, all of them victims of Boko Haram, our house and educated, getting the best that the nation has on offer. Look at this edifice. It's about one of the best schools in the nation. And this has been replicated along the length and breadth of Borno and further sustained by Governor Babagana Umara Sulum. Get us into office. We promise you such edifices will be replicated across the length and breadth of this nation. Vote wisely, vote Bola Tinubu for the presidency of Nigeria come February 25th.
Thank you for staying with us. It's 5 days to the 2023 presidential election, and I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mayor Akikpelu here in the studio. The Lagos State government says it has taken steps to assist the vulnerable impacted by the Naira scarcity in the states. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated that Lagosians who are highly impacted by the current Naira and fuel scarcity will be given food to lessen the hardship. He added that his government is working very hard to provide palliative measures to lessen the burden being faced by Lagosians. On the issue of possible increase in fares, Sanwo-Olu says they are in discussion with private transport operators to regulate fares, bearing the difficult circumstances Lagosians have found themselves. My help yesterday, we wanted to go to Dust Computer Village, and we got to the bus stop and they said, no, we're not collecting old money. You had to disembark and had to walk all the stretch. I saw another video. Somebody, a Mala, wanted to buy something from a food seller, and the food seller had to collect soap. Soap worth 1,500 or so in exchange to get food. Trade by butter.
That's primitive. That's the level we have sunk to. And this is something that some people will justify. Did you see the statement issued by Ozekome?
Yes.
Now a professor of law, where he was attacking people that how can, in trying to be politically correct, how can you justify this assault on the vulnerable in our society? That was how he described it. That the president has no right to disobey the Supreme Court.
Of course.
He has no right.
He has no right.
And we will see people come to try to justify what is going on.
No.
You know, some governors now, because they do not want to, because they want to be politically correct, they can't speak for their people. Now, the people are seeing those who truly love them. You see the Ogun State governor come out, you know, to say something. You see the governor of Kaduna taking this as his battle. Yeah. Then some hypocrites among the governors will just keep quiet, as if what is going on is normal. Look at this thing. Look at this about the agony that their people are going through. I mean, where is your humanity? Where is it? The people have lost their humanism. If you cannot speak about how you can end the agony that your people are going through, you are so fixated about the political side to the thing.
Yes.
That is what bothers you. You are not looking at what people are going through.
As Nigerians together to fight.
To say this is a problem, let's face it.
Irrespective of political lineage.
Let me commend the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for the effort to try to bring palliatives for the people, because the primary duty of government is protection of life and properties and betterment of the lives of the people that they govern over. So coming up to, because now, in context of what we've been discussing, things are very difficult for people. There are a lot of people, there are some category of people who hang their living by selling on a daily basis. So it's based on cash.
They don't have bank accounts.
They don't even have bank accounts. So when people like that cannot sell, they don't have money to feed their family on a daily basis. They don't have money to give transporters. Transporters don't collect POS. They don't collect transfer. You have to pay them. So their children will not go to school because they cannot raise the money, because they have not been able to sell things. So it is duty of government. It is very commendable that the governor has decided that they should try to bring up palliatives. So it's the kind of things that we went through during COVID. You know, when you know that people are going through things,
on the verge of committing suicide.
And it's important for us to try to alleviate the suffering that they are going through. And I want to encourage other governors to also do that. I know that we are going to get through this. By the time we finish election, they will stop their nonsense that they are doing.
I'm telling you.
And then we'll be able to move forward. Right now that people are still going through this,
the commoners will rest.
Let the governors try as much as possible to bring up palliatives to reduce the suffering of our people. Because it's not good for us. We are not in a state of war. The economy have not collapsed. We are not the old Greece. So when you now confiscate people's money and they cannot have access to it, I can't imagine how people can allow our country to turn to this joke. And then they kept telling you, I saw the central bank governor the other day when he came out from there, and he said, I want to appeal to people to allow this thing to work. This thing will stop this. And I just look at him and I said, this man doesn't know what you are doing.
He doesn't even know what's going on in the
He doesn't know.
When they say that, this thing, that kidnapping
he doesn't know.
Down, who told you? I track developments in the security sector like my life depends on it. I can tell you that they are still kidnapping people all over the place. They are still kidnapping people. Any journalist worth his salt who is resident in Katsina or resident in Niger and will know that this thing is still going on. Why are you lying to Nigerians that it has stopped kidnapping? You see, the kidnapper,
for the fact that
the kidnapper
is not reported,
it's not,
or electoral matter, political matter,
it's even being reported. It's being reported.
It.
It's just the electoral matters are in front. It's not as if it's not being reported. It's just the electoral matters are in front. They are still kidnapping bus passengers. It's still going on in the north, especially. Even in Cross River, they blocked the whole highway and they were picking people in the midst of this whole thing. So who told them that security has improved? How? How has security improved? Where did they bring the facts from? You just talk off your head without concrete evidence. You lie to Nigerians. You lie through your teeth. I mean, so why won't people be suffering? Because the president especially, it's so easy to deceive by these people around him. They told him, no, since security, this and that.
We are using the fruits, and the president highlighted the achievements.
The key thing that they used to get
how has it brought down inflation? How has it helped the value? How has it helped the value of the Naira? It has not helped the value of the Naira.
To compare to dollars.
Yes, and the thing is, the way it is going, even the economy, You know, listen to what people like this Shekri man, the economist, Rewane, even Doyin, who is the president's advisor, he opposed this.
Everybody, and including the minister of finance.
The minister is like the minister knew that this thing will come.
Everybody.
That's why she said that when the impact begins, the negative impact, we will feel it together. But you didn't.
So.
Yes, you didn't inform anybody. You just went
because the timing of the execution is faulty,
and you can't even you are implementing it in a most incompetent manner. Artisanal incompetence. That is what we are seeing.
Because
you can't run our economy like artisans. You can't. I mean, what sense does that make? Artisanal incompetence. This is what we are seeing. This is what we are seeing. But we have to thank a governor who does not want his people to suffer and says, oh, we can assist the most vulnerable in our society. But there are still some of us who are not in that category.
But we need money.
But we are impacted. Like us. Which are impacted. And it's
painful. Access to our money. Cash.
This is elsewhere. What Emefiele is doing, if this were UK or anywhere else, honestly, he cannot try it. By now, maybe we'll even be in jail.
Even some African countries.
You said, yes, it's only a country that this can happen. You said, okay, people can withdraw 500. From 500 now,
to 20,000.
To 20,000.
Then the 20,000 is
that they are not even giving people. And we think that is right.
There's no war, but you go to your own bank and across the counter, you say you want 20,000. They will say we cannot give you more than 2,000.
And you have millions.
It happens every time. Everybody that comes to the bank, they will be giving them 2,000 naira. How can you give people 2,000 naira? What do they want to do with it?
After being in the queue for hours.
That's what I'm saying.
Some are even sleeping in
some ATM, they will say, okay, if it is not your bank, if the card is not of that bank, you collect 1,000. If it is your bank, you collect 2,000.
We've never had it.
How can you do that? When we're not in a state of war.
Mayor, this thing is being done to.
And one governor of central bank is saying, oh, we should just bear it. They are working on it, and they'll be able to because the president, you know, it is very isolated up there. When somebody comes to you with an idea, and because our president is so fixated in solving corruption, when he hears that anything will fight corruption, he will buy in on it.
They told you
that 2.7 trillion is outside the banking system.
But when he made his speech, he said 2.1.
The politicians have stockpiled it in different tomes. So we need to change this naira. The man will buy into it. But the problem is that how do you execute this thing? Even if you say 20,000 naira for everybody, and people can access that 20,000 naira, we won't have this problem that we have.
All right. It's still Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We'll go for this break. When we come back, we'll chop on.
My name is Kashim Shetima. I'm an agricultural economist by training, a banker by profession, and now a public servant by calling. I was the governor of Borno State for 8 years. In the heat of the Boko Haram, we set up an agricultural transformation committee. We crisscrossed the wall and invested in the whole in terms of landmass, 3,577 square kilometers. But the largest rice mill in Africa and the third largest in the world is located in Imota in Lagos. That is the power of ideas. Bola Tinubu is an idea whose time has come. Let us vote for Bola Tinubu to be the president of Nigeria come 25th of February. God bless Nigeria.
Never.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout on Sunday. If you're not around, just come around the TV set now and you feel what we're really feeling inside the studio. The country was thrown into confusion on Friday following a purported directive by the Central Bank of Nigeria that customers would deposit the old 1,000 naira and 500 naira notes at their office when was then followed by a counter directive by the CBN that the information was fake and unauthorized. Director Corporate Communications Department of CBN, Osita Wonisiobi, in a task press release in the evening, denied that the Apex Bank gave such authorization and asked members of the public to disregard it. Here is a look at how the confusion played out in parts of the country.
we are sorry for all the inconveniences. So we are here to tell you that, number one, you have seen the crowd here. And there's no way we can attend to all of you in this place. And I want to assure you that this exercise will not stop today. Even next week, you can still be paying your money in. And that nobody will lose his money. Everybody, the exercise will continue until everybody has paid his money into the bank. So, since we cannot attend to everybody here now, an arrangement has been made, 1,000 Naira and below, to pay in. If your money is 500,000 Naira and below, you go to your bank. They will attend to you. If your money is above 500,000 Naira, you will stay here. We will attend to you, so that we don't keep everybody here and we are not able to attend to all of you. You can see people are standing. People will soon get tired. We don't want anybody to fall down. So if you are 500,000 and below, you go to your bank. Yes.
Okay, Chide, an eyewitness called me from Benin City in Edo State. So in Sapele Road, people now besiege the central bank headquarters in Edo State. And they attempted to overwhelm the bank security. The military started shooting. We don't know the number of casualties and everything. But when you see a central bank in the state capital and you're asking citizens to go there and do one or two things, in this confusion, we try and get the name of this CBN official.
At least we know it's their official. That's their
instructing people, telling people that 500,000, 100,000 go to your bank. That same evening, a rebuter was given.
Even after this, yes, banks issue some banks issue some
yes, I remember. Yes,
asking people that they were going to come walk over the weekend and do that. So apparently, when he did this, maybe Emefiele now disagree with him, and then they now issue a counter order to say no.
A rebuter came in the evening.
Yes.
Like Toa Babel.
Because that is a part of the incompetence that central bank is doing.
That is the same thing that went before the House of Reps and said that nobody will lose his money.
Yes. And that's the painful part now.
He's yet to explain to us how nobody will lose his money. The kind of policy that in other climes, they give people 1 whole year, 2 years. In fact, Saudi Arabia, 7 years. You are giving our people 3 months, and you are saying nobody will lose his money. Despite the fact that out of 774 local governments in our country, more than 400 have no banks. More than 400, including the south and the south and the north. Many don't have banks.
And the number of unbanked people that we have.
You now say people should go to the... You know, I said this here that they will be overwhelmed. That central bank is not a depositor's bank. It's not
Do they have the manpower?
It's not a money deposit
to deal with
bank.
direct
I was
customers?
wondering what kind of people are taking decisions. If you say people should go to the central bank, now you've seen the crowd.
Look at the crowd in front of central bank.
Now you've seen the...
That's central bank marina.
Now
you've seen the crowd.
You know why he said people will not lose their money? Initially, because he was not even aware that it's in the CBN Act that when you do a money redesign, you understand, the law says that the citizens have the right to change that money even long after you have changed it.
Yes.
It's in the CBN Act.
Yes.
So if 6 months' time, I bring my money to you, you cannot say you will not collect it. If I go to the court, I will win
Because of the panic and uncertainty surrounding it now. Bus drivers are rejecting it.
Initially, he kept saying that it's February 10th.
I don't know.
If we don't do it by February 10th, that's the time limit. It was when they told him about the CBN Act that he had it up to 17. That is when he now put the CBN thing. How can anybody who knows what he's doing ask depositors to bring money to central bank?
How? You see how hair
given the sensitivity of the central bank. Why would you have depositors to come there?
Do you even have the staff to attend to people?
It shows they don't even
know what they are doing. I mean, they don't know what they are doing. It's clear now. How can somebody say, okay, take your money to CBN? I said, it's just one branch. We have yes, it's one branch. Even where there are multiple bank branches and all that, the staff are overwhelmed. You now have a situation in which you said, oh yeah, go bring it to CBN. What sort of rubbish are we going through? This is complete shambles. Shambles. And now look at what our people are going through. That one stands in front of them, telling them to go to their banks.
They should be embarrassed that an official of central bank can come out and tell Nigerians and lied to Nigerians to say you can go to your bank
it's the media
and
that
take
is,
500,000
fake news.
So an official of central bank, then suddenly somebody higher up believed that, oh, that was not authorized. Who told you to say that? And then they hired you that to
they are now making it look like the media
were the whipping dogs. When you were the one that addressed and made those pronouncements.
That's him now. That's
CBN.
I'm sure staff of CBN will be able to identify whoever this
No, they can. This one. I'm sure some people will be sending his name to me now. To my phone.
Whoever this person is now talking, because he has security all around.
Apparently, the person must be high up enough. He must have met some people within that office, and they took that decision.
Mayor,
but the Oga decided that no.
He too. Emefiele had told us before that people can take their money to the banks. Emefiele had told us before now that people can take their money to the bank. So what that guy said was in line with what we had been told earlier.
Yeah. So why the rebooter?
So now, because they are committed to making Nigerians suffer, he has changed his mind again. And then there are people who are saying, oh, those monies belong to politicians. The people are just going to help them to bank it.
Why are they so fixated about these politicians?
I don't know. To be election, I don't
understand. Everybody keeps saying politicians as if that this thing is so magical that the same people, the same Emefiele, claimed that politicians mopped up the money. He said that himself. So if you know that some people have mopped up this money that you claim you have released, why are you not so fixated that politicians will not be able to use that money? Do you think they want to use that money to decorate their homes?
You want the suffering to continue?
Do you think they are going to use the money to decorate their homes?
Okay. In another fallout, the Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions has ordered banks staff to stay off duties following series of attacks on bank staff. In a notice sent to all unionized banks, the association's president, Comrade Olusoji Oluwole, cited the continued attacks on workers and banks' facilities across the country as a reason for this decision. In another development, the majority leader of the House of Representatives, Ado Dogua, has revealed what effect this policy has had on the All Progressive Congress. He says it is putting the party at a disadvantage in the coming election. Listen to Dogua.
The law has provided for us the amount of money we need to oversee our election process. You need to pay your agents in the villages where you don't have ATM, in the villages where you don't have POS, in the villages where absolutely you don't have this new Naira. So this is money that I require, that the law has permitted me to have 70 million Naira as logistics for my election funding. I need to have this 70 million Naira in hard copy. If the central bank fails to make available this amount of this money we need to fund our elections, definitely every candidate, no matter what party he belongs to, will be put at disadvantage. And don't forget the point I made as a partisan member, that the policy in itself is a policy that is apparently against the ruling APC, because Nigerians that are not happy will look at it as a policy of the government of the APC. This has placed us at disadvantage already.
You know, okay, all this at the point that it started, they said security reasons so that to curb vote buying, to curb banditry, and some other reason that will give you this policy. Kano from the House of Representatives saying that legitimately this is the amount that they will be needing.
By law.
By law.
Yeah.
And I listened to Mr. Festus Keyamo to also saying that, look, the party agents across all the country, if you are not a serious party, you will need to give a certain amount of money to your agents to buy drinks, to, to hydrate themselves on the election day.
Yeah. Agents have to be paid. Just the same way the INEC pays
ad hoc staff.
Ad hoc staff.
Cash.
Yes.
Pay them cash.
Pay them in cash. I don't know how far they've gone with providing INEC his money. If Emefiele and his co-travelers fail to provide INEC with the money that it needs in good time for them to be able to provide election-related logistics, then it is clear that they are trying to sabotage the elections. Because normally, this is not the sort of policy that you should bring so close to an election. There are other, even the NSA has said, look, this policy is hurting the war against terror. Because in places like Borno now, where there are no base stations, you cannot even communicate with people through their phones. How are we going to get money across to our soldiers?
Why the hurry?
You need this cash. But because you are fixated, let's stop these politicians from spending money. Politicians who are several steps ahead of you. Who owns the banks? Who put the monies in the banks there?
They know what's
the ill-gotten money that is in our banks. Who are the people who put them there? Are bank MDs and the rest of them not conniving with politicians? Are they not putting bank staff on trial over the Zani money? Is the Zani money that we are talking about, is it not election related? So to imagine that these people will not find the money that they need, it shows how narrow-minded people who take these kind of decisions are. Because if you can think deep, you will know that, look, it's just the ordinary man that will suffer. They come to tell us about how India came up with this policy. But they forgot to tell us, or maybe deliberately, that it was India's poor that suffered the most. A lot of them, their businesses collapsed. For 2 years, India did not recover from the currency change that they made in 2016. Businesses collapsed. It hurt the economy. Even the money that they used to make, their Apex Bank used to make, it came down drastically to about 40%. Because you have to print. No one knows now in a country where our leaders are not accountable. They've not even told us how much they expended on printing these new notes.
They've not told us.
In other places by now we will know.
They've not even told us the volume of the money released. In the
we don't even know.
They've not told us.
We hear some people say 300 billion, some are saying 400 billion. You know, we don't even know. You, as the CBN governor, knowing what we are going through, you are supposed to be addressing Nigerians, that gentlemen and women, we want to solve this problem. These are the steps that we are taking. Yes. Nothing like that. Unaccountable people. They are not even talking to us.
The president ordered that 200 naira, the old 200 naira should be rejected in the sector, but till now.
An hungry man is an angry man. So a lot of people are very angry about the situation of things, and they are saying they cannot reach the governor of Central Bank. So they are seeing the banks as their enemies.
Yes.
And they've started attacking the banks.
And because they lied against the banks.
Started making the banks uncomfortable. So the problem is that's why the union is telling the banks to say, look, they will not work because they cannot endanger the lives of the staff of those banks.
Colleagues.
And then the colleagues. And then these banks do not really have the money.
They don't.
So when you enter the bank and you say you want money, and they cannot provide you that money, that will be a problem. Tension will be high. Okay. So because of that, they are locking up. They are not opening to customers.
All right, let's go for this break. When we come back, we'll talk more.
Nigerians, my name is Kashim Shetima. I'm the APC vice presidential candidate. According to Korn Ferry, a global consulting firm, by 2030, there will be a global talent deficit of 85 million. Because of our useful population, our geographic location, and our proficiency in English, Nigeria stands a unique chance of becoming the global talent factory. The building behind us is the Secretariat for the Implementation of the Startup Act. It's the Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. Of the 7 unicorns in Africa, 5 are in Nigeria, all in Lagos. It wasn't a coincidence, neither was it an accident. It wasn't magic. It is called leadership. It is the Tinubu effect. Vote wisely, vote Bola Tinubu for the president of Nigeria. God bless us all.
All right, thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Jide, we have to be concerned about the protection and security of bank staffs because it has if the Apex Bank, through the CBN governor, might have thrown them under the bus.
That's what is done. That's what is done to his constituency. You know, we came from Zenith Bank, came from the banking sector, and look at what is done, saying that those guys are hoarding the money. How many people have you punished? The CBN has an inspectorate unit. How many bank staff have been punished? How many banks have you sanctioned? Even the one they made so much noise about, that one bank kept 208 million, this and that. They've been discovered that it was a hoax. The anti-corruption agency just went there. For those guys, yes, those guys showed that, received. We were in the process of moving it. And they showed evidence that, look, all what we got from the CBN, this is how we have moved it up to this moment. So there was nothing like hoarding that hoard 200 and something million. There was nothing like hoarding. They defended themselves.
Yeah, I know, because it's bank, it's Talmark, yes.
They defended themselves, but they tried to give them a bad name. You know the same way
Nigerians,
all this
mob mentality,
gara that the EFCC and ICPC do sometimes. At the end of the day, when you take the people to court, those are the ones who win. EFCC has a history of losing so many of his cases because they will not do due diligence, they will not do extensive investigation before taking people before the court. How many times have judges even abused them? That you didn't do diligent prosecution. Now, in this case, they tried to demonize that bank. But they came out, defended themselves stoutly that, look, this is what happened. We are not hoarding. We are not hoarding. This is what they've given us. No, they provided the evidence. They are not giving them enough.
A lot of bank managers, I've discussed extensively with a lot of bank managers and top executives in bank. They don't have
enough.
What they have just done is that, oh, we have the money. And then when you claim that you have the money, because the people that people interface with is the commercial banks, they will hold them responsible.
Yes.
And unfortunately, things have gone out of hand. They've attacked some banks, they destroyed some facilities and assets. So most of these banks don't want to open their doors.
Yes.
Because you can only open your doors when you know that you have enough resources to be able to take care of these people who are really hungry. Because a lot of them don't have money to eat. Their businesses will be affected. So it is natural for them to be angry. So we have to look at one day banks do not open. It will create more problems.
Yes.
We just hope that they'll be able to get their acts together and the banks will be able to open and give people money.
They have to provide them with enough.
Yes, let people have access.
This fixation that, if we provide them with enough, so politicians will mop it. They need to first get that crazy notion out of the idea. Think about the Nigerian people. For a moment, forget about the politicians.
How would they mop it up? When you say people cannot collect more than 20,000 naira,
yes.
So what is
the thing? So if you put safeguards in place, definitely no one will be able to circumvent the process. But you are not even giving the banks enough.
Okay,
you are not giving them.
Look at the effect of this now. Now, as Bifi and Obifi, they are calling their bank staff out now. As they are calling them to come, that look, don't open. And if those ones, if they go on strike, this will aggravate
we have to beg them
the situation.
No, it will worsen. In fact, it will worsen things. They may not be there. People, some of the branches that were set ablaze, people were not there. So what happened in Port Harcourt? Attacks on banks and all that. Because it's easy to think that, oh, this is just one part of the country. But it's spreading. And I warned that they should not let it get to Lagos. Because if it gets to Lagos, it's difficult to contain. Now, because they did not do their best to put an end to this, you can see that eventually it got to Lagos. And our people are going through a lot. If some of us are experiencing so much pain like this, you can imagine the ordinary person. I hate the situation in which some of the people that I assist, I see that they need help. I'm unable to provide that kind of help. It pains me, whether in my office or even on the road, that people look at soldiers. I always tell, even when the driver is taking me, I'm traveling, he gets to the checkpoint, because I have a sticker that shows that I'm a pressman, the driver begins to think that, look, we are not supposed to be stopped. He wants to move herself. Are you okay? Stay there. Why you disrespect them by trying to drive through the checkpoint? These are people working for us. I stop, and then I give them what I need to give them to support them. It's not, I'm not obligated to do it, but I believe that.
And they didn't ask.
That is, yes, and they didn't ask. A lot of them don't, they won't even ask at all. You say, my brother, take. I'll say, thank you, they appreciate it. I can't do that now. Because even me, I don't have enough. It's a tug of war. Yes. It's a tug of war. Somebody based in Abuja was asking me if I had one of my old friends. We went to London together. He said, Jide, so cash me that I'm here in Lagos. How will I give you?
I want to advise the central bank to please make sure that they get in touch with all the commercial banks. At least let them inject the 200 naira so that people can collect that across the counter. The new note should be put in ATM so that the money will be able to go around more. It will be counterproductive if the banks close their doors against the people. We may not know the repercussion of that. Let us not take that risk. For us to be able to solve this problem, we have a problem, yes. But to solve the problem, it is important that they inject more cash into the banks, let them be able to give people across the counter, and then people will be able to access the new notes through the ATM so that the liquidity thing will improve. When it improves, there won't be need for anybody to attack banks or attack bank workers, and there won't be any need for banks to close their doors. It is important that banks must not close their doors.
Okay, one other painful aspect is that people still have the same possession of the old 500 naira, 1,000 naira notes in large quantity. Yes. And if you tell Nigerians to come out now, the amount of that money that has not been absorbed, it's mind-boggling. And a lot of people,
we can solve that one later. We can solve that one later. No, their money, everybody will collect their money back. Talking about this deadline. I can assure you that. Yeah. Everybody will collect their money back. The law says so.
That's what the law says.
That's what the law says. The central bank does not.
CBN is going about it.
No. The central bank does not have the power. It's in the Central Bank Act. The central bank does not have the money to deny you your money. I will give you an example.
When somebody is telling you already that it's no longer a legal tender.
No, he's talking crap. Last year, I didn't go to UK last year, and the 20 naira, the 20 pounds notes ceased to be legal tender September 2022. I still have over 200 pounds with me. You understand? It's been like that. They've been spending both like that for about 2 years plus. But September 20, side by side. September 2022 was when the 20 pounds, the paper note, ceased to be legal tender. But anytime that I get into UK, I will just take the 200 pounds, give to somebody that has an account. The person takes it to his bank, not the Bank of England. He will take it to his commercial bank, pay it in, and he will withdraw the money from me. That is how it's done. I'm not in UK now. I still have the 200 pounds with me. Anytime I go to UK, I will just give it, because we can only collect to send it through an account. So I'll just give it to somebody that has an account in UK. It will help me to pay it in and withdraw the money from me. So nobody can tell you, you cannot lose your money. That is the loss of that money. We now have access to that money and spend it. So to them, the essence of doing this Naira design has been defeated.
That means this whole Naira design was not.
It was targeted, yes. It was targeted as politicians.
It is. Yes. There's no economic value. No economic value to it. No gain that will come from it.
The primary target was the politicians.
Former Minister of Finance, Idika.
Yes.
Go and read what he wrote.
If I watched this interview.
There's no value in what they are doing. That you can't use this to reflate your economy.
Yes,
you can't use it.
And he used to work with IMF.
Yes, you can't use it. Even IMF told us that we should extend the thing, that people are suffering.
He mentioned it in the interview that IMF normally do not get involved in things like that. But because that they must have been more bothered for them to get involved in things like that.
Yes, and they said, look, extend this thing. You can't be wiser than these people now. You can't be wiser than them, but you refuse to listen.
Why they don't want to do it is because they believe that, oh, if we say they should spend 1,500, that most of these people that spend money is in 1,500 denomination. That means they will have access to that money for this election. That's why I'm telling you that I am very sure that after the election, they will change the policy and they will say that you can still spend 1,500. You will see.
But because of the manifest incompetence of the CBN, these supply hiccups may even remain until after the election.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. After the election, because it takes time to print money.
Yes.
If you want to print the new notes, if you want to print extra new notes, you see, it's not like it's a security printing. It's not something that you just put and bring out. It takes some time to print money. So this supply problem will still be there after the election. Yes. So I believe that what they will do is to say like that April, that they have said that 200 should be. I'm sure that after the election, they will probably say, okay, you can also spend, that let us reinject the 500 and 1,000, old 9,000, so that you spend it side by side for things to cool down. But they don't want to do that now because they believe that they don't want politicians to have access to it before the election.
Or politicians, the politicians they don't like.
That, or whatever. So I just believe that after this election, maybe they will be in a better position to look at things again and take decisions that will.
Mr. President was saying that there is so much money in circulation. You are the one doing conditional cash transfer. Every month, you come up with billions of naira that you share to people.
Through ways and means.
No. Conditional cash transfer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Through ways and means. It's not money they generated. It's money that printed by central bank for them.
I'm not even going there. What you see, when you give out money to people the way you have done. You've done that of trader money.
Trader money.
You went into banks, gave money to people. A lot of
the money. To return it.
Even the poverty alleviation that you pay directly to people's accounts.
Yes.
Money were paid directly to people's accounts.
You did anchor borrowers. You release money to people. You are now wondering.
There's no record of the people that.
You are now wondering
the money.
why there is so much money in circulation. When every month, a minimum of 20 billion is what you share to people in the name of conditional cash transfer. So if you are doing that, there is no way that people won't have more money to spend. So whom are you blaming? You came up with policy, you put money in people's hands, whether it's trader money or not, very close to the election. We remember Baba Kekere was the one sharing the money at that time. People come
and understand.
Yes, Now, you are saying that there is so much money in circulation. Who caused it? Who gave people so much money to put in their hands? You did it. So you can't then punish the rest of us who did not benefit from trader money, anchor borrowers, even nicer to giving money to giving agri credit to farmers. All of these things will naturally made our people to have more money. They had more liquidity. So you are now blaming everybody that there is so much money in circulation. And even that one, people have argued that it is not even true that there is so much money in circulation because based on this percentage of the money in the economy and what is in the hands of people, they are saying no. It's not even true that we have so much money in circulation.
Individuals is 500 billion, and about 2.2 or thereabout trillion is outside the banking industry. That's why they came with that. I agree that it is not good for the economy, for majority of your money to not to be useful to the economy.
It's useful. Not that it's not useful.
If it is charged somewhere, it's not charged. No, that's what they claim.
The farmers, for example, they claim that they use their money.
They claim for 2.2 trillion. That's what the central bank governor said. That 2.2 trillion is outside the banking industry. But that does not necessarily mean
it's not the fault of our people.
The mistake they are making is that does not mean that it belongs, that is in the vaults of politicians.
No.
There are a lot of farmers, especially in the north, who transact their business in cash. And who keeps their money at home because of the nature of where they operate from. Rufai told us, for example, that there is a local government in Kaduna State that doesn't have banks at all. And that there are a lot of farmers there. Those farmers were so angry and said that, how can you make us poor overnight? Because what is going to happen to the money? And they have to convince that, don't worry, you won't lose your money. So it is not all this money that is not in the banking system.
They are making it look like it's politicians. I mean, look at the way people are thinking. Before now, even before this crisis, I used to talk about the Singa market in Kano. The textile market, where people come from as far as Central African Republic to trade. And I used to say that, look, for the first time in my life, I saw able-bodied men. All they do throughout the day is count money. They hire them just to count money. These people don't believe in the banks. As they are bringing, maybe they just did a transaction, as they are bringing this thing, it's already shelling out that one to go and buy more products. There are people who say, okay, take this one to this person, go and buy this. They are circulating the money within themselves. And it's legitimate earnings. There are people who have never borrowed money from the banks. And they do legitimate business.
There are a lot of people that don't even have bank accounts.
They don't have. And it's not their fault. System. Yes. Statistics show that only 18% of women in Jigawa State actually have bank accounts.
Can you imagine?
So this money that is still out there, a lot of it, I can say more than 90% of it is actually a lot of people who are farmers and other people. To say that, politicians, we were discussing, the seven politicians start 22 billion. And we were discussing, he said this is crazy.
That's a stupid thing to say. How can somebody put 22 billion in
They won't stash Naira. They won't stash Naira.
They won't.
It's dollars that they stash.
Who will put 22 billion at home?
I don't know. These are the things that they are saying just to make people believe that, this policy is the best in Nigerian history.
After the election, all these grants.
Somebody say, this whole thing will just fade
after the election, this thing will fizzle out. When they now after the election has been won and lost, you will not say again that politicians are putting money in their own.
But my feeling, I'm not so hopeful that after the election, this supply hiccups will stop. I'm not so hopeful.
It will take time.
Yes, because we need time, given the incompetence that we have come to associate with these guys.
Go and write it down. What the central bank would do is to inject the 500 and 1,000 back into the economy and ask people to spend to spend it side by side for some time. Go and write it down. Write today's date down. Because if they don't do that,
you hear that story of it being trashed?
If they don't do that, nothing is trashed. The man is nothing is trashed.
No, you know, I said to you something when you brought the matter. I said we didn't hear it from him, so let's not go. It's other people that came while trying to negotiate with governors
that claim that it's trashed. Nothing is trashed.
And Nasu El-Rufai said we showed them evidence that we were aware that nothing has been trashed. So let's not even go into that one again. Because we'll be providing ammunition for evil people.
How can you
Nobody, the banks still have this money in their vaults.
Of course they do.
So we have people in the banks now that we can ask questions from. So it's not the sort of story.
Because I know that the problem that they know that they have a supply problem. That is why they said, okay, because they believe that if they inject the 200 Naira denomination, that most people who keep money
they prefer higher denominations.
They prefer higher denomination. That is the reason for that. So I believe that by the time we finish the election in March, and there's no story again that politicians need money to do an election, then they will sit down and realize that they have problem with the supply chain, and they have to inject more money into the economy, and they will do that because we cannot continue like this.
But even the currencies that they did not reprint, remember this whole period, even those ones. We did not see.
The new ones?
The lower denominations.
No, those ones we didn't see now because they've lost value.
We didn't even see.
Who wants to spend 50 Naira now?
No. Like even 100 Naira, for example.
They should do the more 100 Naira, yes. It's still a legal tender, but it's
we did not even see them. That's the thing. People were asking that, okay, the ones that did not reprint, where are they?
How about coins?
No, I said the ones, it's not
the 100 Naira denomination. It's still legal tender.
It's still legal tender. But
why is the 100 Naira notes?
Where is it?
Where is it?
The old 100 Naira.
Yes, it's still legal tender.
Yes, now it's legal tender. So even at the height of this scarcity, even at the height of this scarcity, nobody could lay his hand on them. We didn't even see those ones. The old note, it's legal tender, you can use it. But we didn't even see.
That's what I'm saying, that
so
they know that we have this supply problem, and Nigerians cannot continue like this. It's so sad that Nigerians are feeling like this in 1 week to election. Next Saturday is election. But let's just continue to hope that our people will be able to go to the polling units, exercise their rights, so that when we finish the sequence of elections, then they will sit down and supply this supply.
The battle will still continue after the elections.
All right. Okay, moving on now. Atorin Ijesha in Atakumosa, east of Osun State, is one of many local government areas in Nigeria where gold and other minerals are found in large quantity. Over the years, foreign miners, especially the Chinese, have invaded the communities, destroyed farmlands, polluted water bodies with mercury and lead, thereby endangering the health of people. On the 15th of January 2022, TVC News crew, led by Nelson Etta, visited Atorin Ijesha and brought back these reports.
On the 15th of January 2022, when the world was just settling into a new year, TVC News crew set out for a journey to Osun State. Our destination is Atorin Ijesha. In Atakumosa East local government area of the southwest state.
Since 1601, and there's no development. I don't think we're asking for too much.
The mission was to unravel the mystery behind operation of illegal gold mining and refining by foreign nationals, particularly some Chinese. Become a corrupt den involving highly placed officials from the federal, state to local government levels, as well as residents and families in Atorin Ijesha. Gold is a chemical compound that was discovered approximately 6000 BC in the Middle East. It is formed underneath the earth through a process called the R process, which means rapid neutron capture in supernova nucleosynthesis. The color of gold varies due to its quality or carat difference, but generally, it is a bright yellowish metal. Gold can be used for the production of electronics, jewelries, furniture, utensils, stationery, medicine, cars, phones, and more. It was discovered in Osun State in the 1940s.
Osun, as you know, we discovered gold in Osun in the 1940s, way before Nigeria got its independence. And since that period, there's been several efforts to develop that sector.
Finally, we arrived at Atorin Ijesha. It is a community made up of 16 villages. The people are predominantly farmers. They survive on large-scale production of cocoa, palm fruits, rubber, kola nut, cashew, plantain, and others. We were received by the traditional ruler of the town, the Alatori of Atorin Ijesha, Oba Omololu Ibitoye Afilaka. After short exchange of pleasantries and briefing about the situation by the traditional ruler, we proceeded to the Ijesha police station to get some security backup for the journey into the interior parts of the village where the mining sites are located. The traditional ruler presented some letters he had written to the government, raising the alarm on proliferation of arms in his community. Oba Afilaka took us through the various landmarks in his community. We finally got to the first mining site in the heart of Atorin Ijesha. We met two mobile police officers on site, whose job is to prevent intruders from gaining access. before mining for decades. But today, it is ruined and deserted with artificial lakes dotting the land due to years of digging with excavators. This is the boundary and the beginning of Atori Jesha in Atakumosa East local government area of Osun State. For decades, this has been a plain land that is as high as what we can see over here. But in just few months of the invasion by the Chinese, I'm told for 8 months, or in the last 8 months, this whole table of land was leveled to what we have here today. The result of that is what we now can see as an artificial lake. This is what this community has been drawn down to suffer of the months and the few years of the invasion of Chinese into this community to excavate and mine their gold. And for what they have to show back is a degraded, dilapidated community. Oba Afilaka has continued to fight against what he calls the oppression of his people by the Chinese and their Nigerian collaborators since he ascended the throne of his forefathers in March 2021.
What's happening now is we're being conquered stylishly by the Chinese illegal miners in collaboration with some, I say collaborators. Just before the Chinese came, we had artisanal miners, Hausas coming in, Hausa Fulani, people from the north. They could only bite as much as they could chew. Then came the big players, the Chinese illegal miners. And they came with excavators. Truth be told, they're killing us. They're killing us softly with their mining.
This retired civil servant from Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, Stephen Olu, lamented the destruction caused by illegal mining in the community.
As what we heard from the beginning was that from the top, that the federal government is aware of it. The local government, the state government is aware of it. And the local government too is aware of it. And the Obas, they are aware of it. So with all these powerful people, what can we do? That if we like it or not, they will do what they would like to do.
He also admitted that he received 1.5 million naira as compensation for a cocoa plantation he inherited from his father after it was destroyed.
The whole family was given at 1.5 million.
I spoke with the village head, the Oshoba of Atori, Isaac Olanikbeku, who spoke in Yoruba. He narrated his experience with the Chinese.
Àwọn nǹkan àlùmọ́nì púpọ̀ ti bàjẹ́, kòkó, ọ̀pẹ, obì, gbogbo báwọn yẹn wọ́n ti kọ̀ndẹ́mù ẹ̀dànù tó tí ó sì tẹ́ àti ẹ̀rí àwọn ìlú kan láràndì tó ti túká tí ó ṣe èèyàn bẹ̀ mọ́ torí ohun tó ń jókòó tì tó ti kọ̀ndẹ́mù.
The demands of Oba Omololu Ibitoye Afilaka, the Alatori of Atori Jesha, are simple and legitimate.
What I want is very simple. For me, there's a lot of darkness in my land. If you're coming in here and you're extracting billions of naira worth of gold, I think the people should benefit from it. The Mining Act 2007 requires them to get a consent from the landowner and most especially the traditional ruler.
After Senator Ademola Adeleke emerged as governor of Osun State in November 2022, he set up a committee on solid minerals to investigate the activities of illegal miners in the state. The governor vowed to clamp down on illegal mining in the state. As at the time of this report, mining is still taking place in Osun State with its attendant environmental hazards. What the people of Atonrijesha are asking for is adequate compensation for what has been taken from their land in form of schools, hospitals, good roads, potable water, and employment opportunities.
Anfa kete fún wa ní hospital tó dáa. Anfa pé kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá lè kọ́lé hospital fún wa tó dáa báyìí.
I want good road from them to give us good road. Now, good hospital. But we don't have any good drinkable water.
Nelson Etta, TVC News at Atonrijesha, Osun State.
Well, the plight of people in Atonrijesha, in Atakumosa East, in Osun State. We have this kind of activities all over the country, but we are shedding the spotlight in this community in Osun State right now. It's very, very pathetic that a situation whereby mining is on the exclusive list of the federal government. We don't know, we are not paying attention to it. We have all these mineral resources, but the foreigners saying that we have what we have, we just come through the back doors and they'll just run riots on our land.
You know, they can't do this without Nigerian collaborators. Even in Zamfara, which has
gold.
The gold in Zamfara, you don't need to suffer to pick, even on the floor, on the ground, when it rains, and the rain washes off the topsoil. People pick gold. Wow. In Zamfara. It's such a blessed community. Unlike Osun State, where you have to dig up to 100 meters. They are, they have. I remember the governor of Taraba State complaining to me that he went to a community where they told him that a Chinese was mining tatalite, and nobody gave him the mandate. They just found themselves in our country, and they are doing what they like. Because our people are cheap, it's easy to compromise security agents in our country. Don't be surprised that these illegal miners have, in some cases, soldiers, police guiding them,
and they will mess up
against complete destruction of the communities. Now, the mining has contaminated the communities. See the way they are digging. You can't use that part of town anymore
to grow anything.
If you have farmlands, just like Ibadan people, in these communities, every family has its own farmland as located to it. Like Ibadan, as big as Ibadan is, every family has their farmlands. Although those farmlands may have become built-up areas. Like the governor, I think the governor's area is Naira. The current governor. I think his farmland is in Naira. But the point that I'm making is people have lost their farmlands as a result of the activities of these illegal miners. And this thing is going on in all parts of the country. You report it, the traditional ruler reports, and you will see that nothing is done. Because they understand us very much. Once they grease people's arms, this kind of story, you will not see it. So the media has
to expose.
You will not see. Nobody will come and arrest them. But what they are doing is illegal. No one can go. You can't, as a Nigerian, go to China and do what these guys are doing in our country. Was it not the other day that we were even reading that even the Chinese set up their own prison inside our country? So many things that these guys are doing, and a lot of them, I'm not even sure they have valid papers.
A lot of them?
Yes, to work here.
You just see them.
They are here, just doing what they like. And we are not dealing with them. How can we leave our society, leave our communities to be damaged in the manner that you see in those pictures? These are just a few of the pictures. By the time we run the 30 minutes documentary, because they abridged this from a 30 minutes documentary, you will see even that the staff, our staff, they had to run away, they were attacked by thugs that these guys have hired to make sure that nobody gets close to where they are destroying.
Yeah, we can also have this kind of activities somewhere around Ife too.
No, it's everywhere in Osho State, because you know the gold is from that belt, from Osho State down to the north in Zamfara. So that belt has gold and a lot of mineral resources. But the problem has to do with the way we are. One, there is a Ministry of Solid Minerals. And I think there was a time I listened to the minister and the efforts they were doing to bring in major players to do the mining. Part of the problem is that because we have neglected that part of it and concentrated on oil for a long time, you know, nature abhors vacuum. So some people now took advantage of that and started doing this illegal mining. So what I would suggest is that, one, the Ministry of Solid Minerals should be up and doing and be able to identify where these minerals are, the major players in these areas, try to rein them in and make sure that they put them in cooperative societies and then work for government so that it will be planned, not that people will do things and destroy farmlands and our communities. But if the government steps in, they can eradicate these illegal miners and make sure that the mining business itself is official.
We are so blessed, yet we are poor.
Yes, that's what I want to take up from where Mayor stopped. This administration, the former administration in Osun, set up a gold refinery, working with some Zimbabwean business men. They set up a gold refinery in Osu, or what's that place called?
Osu?
Yeah, where they used to sell
Akara.
cake. You know, the refinery was working fine. Ideally, government should have moved in quickly, get rid of the illegal miners. If private sector show interest, let those private sector guys come in, bring the right equipment, because with the right equipment you don't need to
do all this.
Dig, because they are digging at random.
Yeah.
And there are times when they will dig, and they will not see gold there. But with the right equipment, you can pinpoint where you have gold deposits. You just go there and go there, dig your thing, without this kind of damage to the ecosystem. Yeah. So that is what government should do. This thing is good business, and gold, which we have in abundance, can actually earn us big forex, foreign exchange. The other, when I visited the gold refinery, they gave me 1 bar of gold, and the amount of money that they told me that size was going for. In fact, it's a kind of life-changing money. I remember that as we were joking, what's his name? Dr. Ruben Abati said he's going to take it away. I said, when everybody has surrounded you, there's no way you can take this gold away. You know, because it's a lot of money that we are looking at. Government should go to Zamfara, see how they can make tremendous money out of this by bringing in private sector players who would work with government to make sure that
especially the big players from South Africa,
yes,
from Australia.
Yes. Look at South Africa.
Largely to mining.
Gold is
Yes.
consistent.
Yes.
You know, it does not suffer the kind of fluctuations.
It appreciates.
Yeah, fluctuations.
Like better than oil.
Yes, it doesn't. You can plan with it.
Yes, it's stable.
It's stable. It's not like oil that tomorrow you can hear that has
today
crashed.
and appreciate tomorrow.
No, Botswana, they rely on diamond and the rest. The price is constant. That is an area where we should focus on. We can't be blessed with all of these resources. Look at Zamfara, one of the poorest states in Nigeria. But in terms of what God has deposited in that state, it's probably the richest state in Nigeria. You know? So we have to, instead of allowing these foreigners to come into our country, explore these materials, and then take them out of the country, we need to ensure that there is sanity in the area of exploration of these minerals, create a template, come up with regulation that ensure that everybody is everybody involved in the business is known, and nobody is doing anything illegal. I think the pictures that I've seen of the destruction to that community are really troubling, and we need to do something.
We are too busy with oil. If we get busy with our other natural resources and concentrate on it, we could actually...
Yeah, I think oil has been a cost to this country. Before oil, we were very good in agricultural produce. We were very good. At the time, we were very good in manufacturing. But the more we made this petrodollar, a lot of things went. We just forget about every other thing and concentrate on oil. That's why I believe that if we put the same kind of effort that the multinationals assisted us in doing in the oil industry, if we put that in the solid mineral industry, we will earn a lot of money. Because, like I said, gold's value is constant, and we have a large deposit of gold. So the federal government should get involved. Governments, naturally, both federal and state, should get involved and invite big players who will be able to. Because one of the things that work for us in the oil industry, if you don't forget, is that most of the development came because of the activities of the majors. So if you can attract big players in the gold industry, especially from South Africa and Australia, I think the government will be able to earn a lot of money from it.
All right, we'll take this break now. When we return, we'll move to our Pandits corner, where we'll dissect how the 2023 elections will be fought and won. Stay with us.
Miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
It's the 7th successive general election in Nigeria's 23 years of unbroken democratic rule.
With more than 93 million registered voters, this is Africa's largest election, having over 75% of voters between the age of 18 and 49.
This election is a massive operation, with voting in over 176 polling units across 774 local government areas. You need a station like TVC News for minute-by-minute account.
From the presidential and National Assembly elections down to the governorship and state houses of assembly poll,
we are on ground every step of the way with live coverage across the 36 states and the FCT.
It is an election like no other, so stay tuned to TV.
It's the final segment of the show. Journalists Hangout on Sunday. Welcome to the Pandits Corner, a segment on Journalist Hangouts where we analyze the shape that the 2023 general elections of battle will take. Today, we are beaming our searchlight on Akwa Ibom, Kebbi, and Kogi states. Jide, let's start from the South states, Akwa Ibom.
Yeah, the South state of Akwa Ibom has always voted the PDP. Remember?
From time?
Yes, since 1999. It has never failed to vote.
Obong Victor Atta.
Yeah.
To Fabio. Then to
Udom Emmanuel. You know? And to show you the resilient spirit of the PDP in the state, even when Fabio left the family,
yes,
and contested,
they still rallied around.
You know, they refused to vote for him. He was defeated. He won only one local government in the entire senatorial zone. He won his Sianudim.
You can see that results.
Yes.
Between Udom Emmanuel and Isima Ikere.
Yes, and all these guys, Isima Ikere and Udom Emmanuel used to be in the same party. Yes. Because Isima Ikere was a member, you know, himself and the current Minister of Niger Delta.
Yes.
You know, they were very prominent in that administration. Now, the National Assembly election, naturally, the PDP will do quite well in that state. The PDP is expected to dominate the National Assembly election. But all eyes will be on
the senatorial district of Akpabio himself.
Yes. Now, Akpabio and his kinsmen have 3 local governments. The PDP candidate has 5 local governments.
Okay.
And that, the PDP candidates, parts of the state, are yet to produce a senator. Remember, that was the main contention, that Akpabio should have left the
ticket.
Yes, you know, for that part of Akwa Ibom. Because they are saying, look, we have never produced a senator, so this is our turn. Now, Akpabio has a tough battle on his hands because those people have the numbers, they are in the majority, and they have 5 local governments. He has 3. So this time around, many people are thinking that, look, let's give it to Akpabio. Let him win this election. But at the same time, you never can tell when it comes to ethnic issues. At this point, I cannot predict that he will win the election because the other ethnic group have 5 local governments to his 3. So it's a tough battle that we are expecting there. The remaining
senatorial districts,
yes, the remaining senatorial district will be won by the PDP. Although the YPP candidate, Albert, who used to also be the senator, Albert, who used to be working in the cabinet of Akpabio. Yes, he was very popular in the Uyo zone. His influence should drive votes to the candidate
of whoever is representing that senatorial district.
But I still think that ultimately the PDP candidate will
the natural
win.
PDP
family. And the same pattern that the House of Reps battle will take in that state. The governorship battle is another very interesting situation. As we speak, Etainang took his party to court.
That's APC?
Yes. Now, INEC is yet to list APC on the ballot. We don't know, anything can still happen before the election, but it's not looking good at all, because if at this time They have not been listed. So who will you be rallying your people to
already?
vote for?
Udom Manuel is strong enough. He has chosen a successor. You know.
Udom Emmanuel Michael Enyong is an House of Reps member. He took his party to court. He said, look, I'm the authentic candidate, this and that, this and that. And he succeeded in court. INEC has gone ahead to list him as the
to Supreme Court level?
Huh? INEC listed.
Okay.
Is a member. INEC listed someone different from the candidate of the governor.
Yes.
As the
authentic candidate.
As the authentic candidate of the party. So now, how do we get the governor to support a person that he did not want? Because it was this Pastor Umar.
Yes,
Umar error.
Yes, the fair man.
Yes, that's the person that the governor wanted. So neither the governor's candidate nor the party's candidate now is popular. I mean, is on the ballot. You get the point that I'm making.
So between now
on the ballot now, on the as far as we are concerned, speaking right now, it is not the governor's candidate that won in court. So the governor is already unhappy about that. Then the people, the person the people wanted, the overwhelming majority of the party, is not the person on the ballot. This person came, as far as they are concerned, from nowhere, went to court and got judgment.
This is a situation whereby the governor might even be forced to support another person from another party, because when you don't have your own.
So now you can see why the governorship race is
tricky,
interesting. If they've not listed APC, INEC has not listed a candidate. They are still waiting. In the case of PDP, it was neither the people's choice nor the governor's candidate. So the people are angry that the governor, in imposing his choice on the party, has put them in a situation that they don't like. Because this person now is not who the party wanted.
And the white people man was telling me, what's his name? Senator Albert. He's contesting, he wants to be the governor.
Yes.
So this might just be a leeway if he not take it.
Well, if the governor fails to support this person because it's not his choice. But of course, he too has quarreled with Albert, so he cannot even give Albert his support. It's a very interesting scenario. It's the battle between the rock and the hard place. So the governor has to decide what he wants to do now. Maybe ultimately you will have to support the choice of the party, which is, the person who won in court, the House of Reps, who got judgment at the Apex Court, Michael Enyong, you know. So there is a bit of revolt among the party members that it was Governor who brought this kind of unfortunate situation on them, where somebody came from nowhere, somebody that they do not want, has become the candidate of the party. Perhaps this could create an interesting scenario in the party whereby an unlikely person,
a dark horse,
yes,
will just come from nowhere,
yes,
and
but as I always say, it's a PDP state, and you always fancy the chances of the party. It all depends on, because if you look at the whole of the South, apart from Wike, no governor has the resources at Udom Emmanuel.
But Udom Emmanuel is said to be very frugal.
Yes,
he doesn't dish.
But he has the resources. If he wants to use it, he can go a long way. So if he now chooses to fully support this guy who has emerged against the run of play, then PDP might clinch it. Then for the presidential election, the PDP has an edge.
Atiku
Abubakar has an edge over
just take Akwa Ibom
over others. He has an edge. Ashwaju Two is making some progress. In
Has
fact,
made inroads.
Yes.
We might get more than the 25%.
Yes, yes.
required.
In fact, it's suspected I could get up to 30 or 35 because there are many people in that state who think that, look, at this time, it should be, power should go to the south.
But still,
you know,
it's going to be PDP for the presidency.
Yes, PDP should win because he's the chairman of the campaign in the South.
Yeah.
So he want to do his best to make sure that he delivers. So
let's go to Kebbi State now.
Now, Kebbi, there are two individuals who have changed the dynamics of Kebbi politics now. Senator Adamu Alero from Kebbi
the former
Central,
governor.
the former governor, and he's actually the leader when it comes to Kebbi politics. All of the other people, he's the most popular politician in Kebbi State, and a lot of the other politicians rose off his own efforts, you know, to become who they are. He and Senator Abdullah Argungu, the former majority leader in the PDP, that has made the PDP very strong in Kebbi State, and the tides appears to have shifted, you know, to the PDP. The PDP clearly has an edge now in Kebbi State. The House of Assembly, it is expected that they will dominate because those two individuals, especially Adamu Alero, are very popular, very popular in the state. Then the House of Reps, the same pattern. We expect them to dominate. And the Senate, the best that can happen is 2-1. That is, those two individuals are going back to the Senate. And Argungu, Senator Yahya Abdullah Argungu is expected to win from Kebbi Central. Adamu Alero is expected to win from Kebbi Central. Senator Yahya Abdullah is expected to win. Then Kebbi South is, I can't project what will happen in Kebbi South at this time because it will be a tight race. Ibn Naira is going back.
Senator?
Yes.
Old hand?
Yes, but he has a lot of work to do, you know, in that area. For the presidency, everyone that I've spoken to told me that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very popular, but that they are expecting a narrow victory for Atiku. Even PDP members admitted that it's a tough one. Some of them told me, look, we don't know who will win.
It's too close to call.
It's too close to call, but majority are giving it to Atiku by a narrow margin. Again, because of the momentum that PDP is enjoying right now. PDP is enjoying a lot of momentum at this time because of the switch of those two individuals to the party. It has energized the PDP, and a lot of them complain that the governor has not really performed. They are not happy. Then there's division, serious division within the APC, which led to so many defections. So all of this will hurt the APC, no doubt about it. It has left Kebbi hanging in the balance. APC has a lot of work to do to not lose the state in terms of the governorship, you know, and other contests. But the presidential race will be quite close. That's what everyone is telling me. So narrow victory for Atiku, yes,
for Atiku
in the presidential race.
In the presidential race.
But many people will still think that it's too close to call.
All right, we go to the final states that Kogi State.
Oh, that's my state.
North Central.
Kogi has 7 local governments that account for more than 50% of the entire votes in the 14 local governments in the state. Just 7 local governments. Those 7 local governments are Dekina, 187,000 registered voters. Ankpa, 180,000 registered voters. Lokoja, 157,000 registered voters. Okene, 152,000 registered voters. Adavi, 114 registered voters. And Olamaboro, 106,000 registered voters. Ofu, 102,000 registered voters. That's 52% of the entire registered voters in the 14 local governments of the state. So it means that you know where the votes are. The votes are the Kina, Ankpa, accounting for.
That's the Igala axis.
Yes. And even Lamaboro and Ofu. The Igala, out of the 7 local governments, Igala's area is 4. That is Ofu, Olamaboro, Ankpa, Dekina. The deputy governor is from Olamaboro and is a very strong mobilizer in that area. And there is also Senator Echocho, Jobrin Issa.
Yeah, older.
He's done someone
contested for
who
governorship.
He likes his people. Even when he was in the bank, he empowered a lot of people. So Echocho is someone who will be very useful to anyone contesting and looking for votes from Dekina. Is from Dekina, which is the biggest local government in terms of Then there is also Honorable Ibrahim Abdullahi from Ankpa. He's also a strong mobilizer in that area. And a big kid on the block, Paul Gowan.
Paul Gowan?
Yeah, Paul Gowan.
Where's he from?
Otherwise known as in Jesus' name. He's representing Dekina Basa. You know, it's also from Dekina. A very good mobilizer. His nickname is In Jesus' Name. He's very popular, and honestly, Kogi won all the House of Assembly seats in the last election.
As in APC?
APC. APC won all the House of Assembly seats. In the National Assembly elections, there are some really tough battles ahead. Senate for Kogi West. That is Smart Adieme's position. There are 2 big gladiators that are contesting from that area, both in the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
The 2 of them are very strong.
The guy that won Dino Melaye in the
Yes, I defeated him after 2 2 contests. TJ. That's TJ.
The big factor to look
TJ has a rich political background. Sunday Karime will have the support of the governor, because that's the person that the governor wants.
The party.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's going to be tough. In the Central, the immediate past commissioner for works is the choice of the governor. He will be contesting against our friend, the woman.
What's her name? Beautiful woman.
Yes, that's the PDP candidate.
Yes.
Her entry into that race has already energized the race, and the governor knows that they have to work hard.
She's a mobilizer anytime.
No?
The mobilizer anytime.
The governor knows that she has to work hard because she has brought energy into the race. But incumbency factor in our politics is not something that you can easily wish away.
Big factor. Despite the fact that we don't have the governorship contest slated for.
But that's his constituency.
Yes.
And there is so much infrastructure, so much work that has been done in the Okene area that the governor can point to, including the ultramodern hospital that was opened the other day, including the KUSTEC, the Science and Tech University in Adavi local government. So the governor should be able to steer the immediate past commissioner for works to victory. Yes, but we all know that's going to be tough.
Looking at this for the presidential election, how strong is the PDP in Kogi State to be able to match up to the White Lion and is the All Progressive Congress?
The PDP is strong. Every part of Kogi West, every part. Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is popular. Whether you know Faleke is there. Faleke is from Kogi
Factor,
West.
yes.
Faleke is a big factor. Is incrementally strong as a politician, you know, and influential. So the whole of that area, you know, it delivered this whole constituency with an audacious margin during the last election. It delivered it, yes, to Governor Yabelo, you know. So without any resort to violence or anything, people listen to him. So with him, you can be sure that Kogi West is secure for the governor. I mean, for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With the governor and playing his effort with all of his foot soldiers, Ododo, Didat, and the rest of them, they will be too strong for the PDP presidential candidate in Kogi Central. And then in Kogi East, where Edward, the deputy governor, comes from. There's a lot of mobilization going on. You know, so many of the Ajaka, all of them are working hard. For Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It looks clear to me that Kogi is one of the states of the North Central that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will pick. So I can project without reservation that Tinubu will be elected as the presidential candidate in Kogi State.
The other party, the Labour does not feature at all in Kogi?
No.
NPP?
No
presence?
No.
So the battle is between the People's Democratic Party and the
for some time.
I was the first governor. I forgot the name of
Ibro.
Ibro, Governor Ibro, that time.
So it's a win for Tinubu in Kogi State. In Kebbi, it's going to be a very close race. Some people are saying too close to call.
Okay.
But I see a narrow win for Atiku there. And then in Akwa Ibom, Atiku should carry the day, thanks to the efforts of the governor.
All right. That's where we touch down today. I would say thank you to Mayor Akikpelu, who has been our guest today, and even the maestro himself. Thank you for the Pandit segment and our analysis today, all through Sunday special. And that's our offering today on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzuba. Bye for now and see you 5 p.m. tomorrow.
It's always a great morning on the TVC Breakfast Show.
Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
With the array of stories that matter and what's behind them.
As you say, the first blow indicates the direction of government.
Tell us what really is going on between your union and the federal government.
Once it's generated,
if you don't use it, it's waste.
We are not